And so while he's out there playing and stuff, I'm sitting here talking to Will Purdue and a lot of other folks and stuff, still scared out of my mind. I'm having the greatest time of my life, but I've got an NBC camera on me that's shooting on me. My nose had been bleeding for like 2 hours before the game because I was so nervous, and I got an NBC and I got cameras all over me with my nose bleeding and sitting on the bench, and they're all looking at me react and stuff. And and I can see myself on camera, this little pudgy little kid, because I had my prednisone, and so my cheeks were still had some weight in them and stuff from my treatments. So I'm sitting here thinking about all this stuff, but all this stuff's running through my mind, like, where are my parents at? Can they see me? And are my parents okay? Are they having fun? And all this all this other stuff. And in the meantime, I'm sitting there, and some guy just starts like flipping with the back of my hat. He just starts messing with my hat. And of course, I'm looking around and just trying to stay within my own self. And he just keeps on messing with my hat and kind of punching me in the back and stuff. Just real friendly, nothing negative about it. I mean, he was just kind of just picking with me. And so I look around, and I think that I recognize the guy, but I'm just so nervous and just don't know what to do or what to say. And then Will Purdue looks over at me and he said, "Travis, do you know who that is?" And I said, "Well, he looks familiar." And he's like, "That's Walter Payton." And so the whole time, for about an hour, Walter Payton had been playing with my hat and like flipping my hat and flipping my shirt and stuff. And my dad he idolized Walter Payton. He was my dad's favorite football player ever. And so I'm sitting there. I get to meet my idol that night. Sitting behind me is my dad's idol. So I mean, that's awesome within itself. His son, Walter's son, Jared Payton, is also 12 years old. I was 12 at the time. He looks up over to me and he goes, "You're the luckiest kid in the world, and because you get to sit on the bench with Michael Jordan." I'm like, "Your dad's Walter Payton. You walked into the stadium, you didn't have seats except for yesterday's game, and you walked into the stadium and you had the wrong tickets, and they put 2 fold-out chairs behind the Chicago Bulls bench for you. What does that say about being lucky?" And so, but it was pretty nice. It was cool to see that he idolized Michael too, even though his dad was Walter Payton. His dad was Dad, but his idol was another sports figure in Chicago. So that was really awesome. And so I ripped my press pass in half and had had Walter autograph one for me and one for my dad. So it was pretty awesome getting back in the limousine once the night was over and handing my dad, the autograph from his idol. So that was a pretty awesome experience. And we had the cameras following us around. And once the game was over, all the cameras it was time for Travis to go back and to be Travis, because we went back to the hotel the next morning. We flew out back to Charlotte. A couple weeks after I got back from Charlotte, we actually went to a Bulls Hornets game back whenever there were the Charlotte Hornets. And I actually met Michael Jordan's dad. I met him out in the concourse. Back then, and I hope I'm not throwing him under the bus, but back then you could smoke in Charlotte out in the concourse, out in the area, the breezeway, the area you could walk around. And his dad smoked, and so his dad was out there smoking, and so my dad and I approached him, recognized who he was, approached him and just wanted to say thank you, let that your son allowed us to come and visit, and he made my Make-A-Wish dream come true, and we were just over there, basically just saying how great it was, and what a great job he did of raising Michael and allowing things like that to happen and kids' dreams to come true. And stuff, and not to know that that several years later, he would be killed, which was very very obviously very tragic for Michael and his family, but for our family too, because that was somebody that I looked up to and our family looked up to, and to see him struggle with something like that was very tough on us. But to notice that that I had actually got a chance to meet Michael's dad and just to say thank you for how he had raised Michael, and allowing, because if he wouldn't have raised Michael the way he did, then my dream maybe have never come true. So